Hello, it's Jay here again, and welcome to another tutorial. So in this lesson we're going to be working on the Stat GUI. Now in the Choose Characters screen, I really want the stats of the robots to be displayed to help the player choose which character they want to be. So that's what we're going to work on. We're actually going to start here though in the game manager script. And we need to define some sizes. So you can put these variables anywhere. I'm just going to put mine here. They're all going to be of type public static float. The first one, underscore stat, and let's use background width. We'll close the line off into the comments quickly. And then we can actually just copy and paste this line in. And I'm sure you've guessed, we're going to change it to height. And we'll paste in again. This time we're going to change background to foreground. So as always, if you're not sure how these are going to work, it will become apparent once we get the GUI up and running, so please don't worry about that. And that should be foreground height. So after we've got the foreground width and height in, we're going to use stat individual width. And of course we'll just copy and paste that for the height. And we'll also define an offset. In fact, I can just paste it again for the offset. So we'll call this Stat GUI offset. And quickly just tidy all that up. And we'll come to the update settings. So again, you can put these anywhere within the update settings. I'm just going to put mine here. So let's copy the options button width. We'll paste that in. And we're going to use stat individual. We'll definitely do this one first. So it doesn't matter where the block of stats goes, but the order in which they go within that block is important. So please be aware of that. If If you are unsure, of course, please just copy mine. And we're just going to change to height. Now we've copied and pasted in. As always, these values will be changed once I begin tinkering. You will need to do the same also. And in fact, I'm going to copy the options button offset. And we'll change that to start offset. And just changing the word options in the actual comments. Now we need to define the background width. So let's just copy the stat individual width. Line. It's going to equal. And this is why these lines here need to come before this one. The width will be the stat individual width plus the stat GUI offset times 4 . Let's break that up for commenting. So I'll just break up the comments. And we'll change that to stat background. And equals the screen width. It isn't the screen width. Stat individual width plus the equation I'm actually going to put that into brackets, the stat GUI times 4. And of course we can just copy that line for the height and just swap out the variables. So stat width to height in the comments equals stat individual height times 4 . And I'll put that within brackets plus the stat GUI offset times 5. So once we actually get round to testing this out, I will go through how these values work, why we're timesing by 4 here and here and by 5. It will all make sense then. But for now, let's just get the code into place. And we need to actually, if we copy those lines, because we need to define the stat foreground width. Stat GUI offset times 2. I want it slightly smaller. And stat foreground height. So let's have a look. I won't actually use the individual. I'm going to use the background width. That is actually going to make things easier. We don't need the brackets there now. For the height, we will minus, and we need to minus there actually. So you can probably tell how these values are working. We have the offset at 4, this one at 2, so the background will be slightly bigger than the foreground. And we'll change this value to 2 also. So yeah, using the background here will make our equations easier, so let's do that. Just going through the comments, making sure I've changed everything. And we'll save that off there. We'll worry about font sizes and such later. I'm going to come to the choose character folder. I'm going to create a new C# script named stat.gui. And we'll open this script up. We're going to use using Unity engine dot scene management, close that line off, and the public class we're going to inherit from game manager. We'll create of type private void on GUI. And choose character dot equals true. We'll open and close brackets. So we can say if Robot Black is being chosen at the moment, we can actually access this directly, so let's do that. If I come to the choose character script, when we change robot in the choose character, it activates the appropriate void, and as you can see, it sets the appropriate bool to true or false. And that is what we're referencing here. So let's copy and paste that in. And we'll need 8 altogether of these if blocks for each of the robots. And of course we just need to go through and change the variable, so robot black, robot white. I'll do them in the same order as they appear here, just for consistency. So robot red, and I think that was robot blue. And brown and green next. And finally for the pink robot and robot gold, I've just put in one too many. Let's just get rid of that. So those are all in place. Let's just save that off for now. So we've got a lot of the basics we're going to need to begin with in place, so we'll leave it here for this lesson. We'll pick this up in the very next video. So as always, I hope you enjoyed this lesson. I hope to see you next time, and as always, until then, bye for now.